I just watched Ballerina, and even though I'm late from the rest of the world because the film did not release in India on the week that it released overseas, but I have to say that I'm not disappointed with the film. I did not have high hopes from the film. I thought it was just an IP bait to get more dollars in Lionsgate's pockets, but it is not an IP bait. It is a nice movie, and I see why James Bond people chose Anna de Armas as a female Bond, because she is far better actress in giving films like John Wick or um, James Bond, considering her only competition being Gal Gadot, who can do better action than her. Gal Gadot is all VFX action, nothing like the raw and rustic action there is in Ballerina. And Ballerina is the one thing which is common in both the one thing which is common in both John Wick film and Ballerina is that there is no story. Like, John Wick made such an absurd story of a dog being killed by some mobsters to have a battle with a blind person in the fourth part, and we did not even think that was absurd. So in Ballerina, she fights like good action sequences are there. In Ballerina, good action sequences are there. Um, the film starts with high action, high octane action. The action only goes up from there, and once she decides that she has to kill the person who killed her father, then there is like whole town is against her, and there is only John Wick which for slight part helps her, and she looks badass in having a flamethrower, and she's killing people with it, burning them alive, and that is good action. It did not look like it wasn't realistic, and the film also has some good points, like uh, the film uh, picking up guns of other person. Like, in so many Hollywood action films, I have a doubt, like, why are you underprepared, and why don't you have extra guns, or why don't you pick up the guns that are not yours? So in this one, and in like John Wick, they do pick up the guns and shoot other people. And there was also a sequence in a shop which sells guns, and that was also a nice sequence. And at last, the story was mushy. Like, there was a cult, and John Wick wasn't in a cult, it was something else. So the cult is like John Wick can get out of the Ballerina where she comes from. John Wick can get out of the cult he's in, but the cult of Ballerina's father, John Wick can get out of the cult that he's in, but the cult of Ballerina's mother does not allow anyone to get out, and her sister was stuck there, which she didn't even realize had a sister. So the cult leader thought that the sister has sided with her and orders to kill both of them. So the sister dies in the first bomb blast, but then Ana de Armas fights the whole town, and John Wick also comes to kill Ana de Armas, but he says that go away, I don't want to kill you. But then John Wick she says like, let me have my revenge. So John Wick gives her half an hour. So after half an hour, he said, if you haven't killed the cult leader, I will kill you. But in the end, when he was about to kill, you will think that he was going to kill Ballerina, but he didn't kill Ballerina. He killed the people who were going to kill her. And the movie is slick action film. The only disappointing part was that they tried some story point which was so bad that even 90s Bollywood film don't have that bad storyline. So they should have worked on story, had endless action scenes, which to a point 90% of the film was good action, but duration was less. It was 90%, maybe 50% of the time it was good action, which was very nice to see. And that is because Chad Stahelski and David Leitch, the directors of John Wick, have directed the shit out of everything they have done, be it The Fall Guy or Highlanders, which is new film coming from Chad Stahelski. David Leitch did Fall Guy or did Bullet Train, because uh, the time they were making John Wick, they were only allowed to have one uh, director's name on the uh, on when they were about to sell the film. They only were allowed to have one director's name on the sheet, so they made Chad Stahelski the director, which was also great because then David Leitch did go out and made Bullet Train with Brad Pitt, which was a complete circle because in Fight Club, David Leitch was the stunt man which did stunts for Brad Pitt, and Bullet Train was a good film, and uh, Chad Stahelski was also the stunt man of Brad Pitt, and he has directed all the four John Wick movies. I don't know who's the director of Ballerina, but he did also a good job. It was like when Russo brothers gave Sam Hargrave some time to, sorry, some trust they showed in Sam Hargrave to make a good movie, and he made a very good movie, Extraction. But Extraction 2 was dull. But there should be more sequels of Ballerina because the film was good and you should watch it.